friends. Instead of our regular Upanishad class, today we will be speaking on the Shanga. Why the 1st May, that was the day when the Ramakrishna organization was established by Swami Vivekananda. So that is the reason I thought today, the last day of this month, and the 1st May is the special day for the whole organization, and particularly 125th year all over the world they are celebrating. We will discuss about that unique organization, Ramakrishna Math and the Ramakrishna Mission. But before that, let us pray in a united way how we can proceed. In the long back in the Upanishad, we find this prayer. You can please repeat after me. Sangachadam Sambadatham Sambho Manamsi Janatam Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve Samjananam Upasate. May you move together. There are 6 lines are there. I have taken only the 2. The first, it says, Sam Gachadam. Gacha means go. The how you should go, may you move together. Sam Badadam. Bada means speak. May you speak in one voice. Sambho Manamsi Janatam. Let your minds be in agreement. That means you think in the same way. And then they are giving an example. Deva Bhagam Yatha Purve. Purve, in ancient times, the Deva, the gods, that it is not G capital, it is small g, the other small gods, demigods, they shared their portions among themselves. Be united, be ready to share as the gods in ancient times share their portions. Now this is the prayer for the organization, and that is very important. Individually we can always live because there is no conflict. The moment there are many other people and there are different opinions, then the clashes comes. And that's why it is very difficult to practice the life together. Tomorrow, the 1st May, it is 2023, and this organization that was formed in the 1st May in 1897 by Swami Vivekananda in Calcutta, that is in Bengal, India. And in that particular house of a devotee, which house was visited by Sri Ramakrishna many a times, more than 100 times. And that is called Balaram's house. The Balaram was the landlord, and in his house there was a small hall is there, still that is there. So they gathered over there and they decided to start an organization. But before that, Swami Vivekananda, after returning from here, he visited the Darjeeling, and he took Swami Brahmananda and also the dramatist with him, so that the both sides, the householder and the monastic, so he wanted to have the discussion. Girish Chandra Ghosh, he was the leader of the householders, devotees, so he took them, had conversation, then came back and decided to form. And everyone accepted that proposal. So that is the reason 1st May is a very, very special significant day for the spiritual organization and spiritual world. Swami Vivekananda keenly observed that the success of America and European societies is based on the organization. So he started thinking, because his whole purpose of visiting America in those days was only to rejuvenate India. I'm going for the poor people, he said. So that he wanted to, and how to. Then he was thinking, alone it is not possible. And we have to have the organization. And he saw this when he was visiting different places. He saw the power of the organization. And he thought he must have. So one day he said to the disciples, his friends, that I have a temptation. And his temptation is for an organization. So he started observing what is this organization. Organization is like a wheel. And there are so many spokes are there supporting the wheel. Maybe a few spokes, if it is even weak, the other strong spokes are supporting the whole wheel, so that even the weak that spokes are also supported. That is the speciality of the organization. Even the weak people, not capable people, they also can be in the organization. Because the other who are capable, they can take them. The whole thing can go together. So that is, organizations, it depends on the teamwork. We all know nowadays is everywhere the organization. But when we are talking with the time, particularly in India, we have to remember that India was never ever experienced this organized work, never. Why? Because it was all kings. The kings is to take the decision, and all other people, they used to just follow that. But in the organization, it is the members that are taking the decision. And that is completely different. Very different. Only in America, of all the countries in the whole world, only in America, this is very free. Europe, all through under the kings. Asia, under the kings. So all through, there were kings, and they used to dictate, and the people used to follow that much. So we never developed the organizational capacity. Only here the people, they developed the organizational capacity in America. That is the special. That's why Swamiji, he came, he saw, he appreciated, and he adopted this organizational capacity. And in the organization, of course, it says, in the political, okay, we can understand the organization is necessary. Business world, organization is necessary. Even in the social, cultural, organization is okay. What about spiritual life? That is the question. The spiritual life means it's a very individual life. Very individually you have to, when you are meditating, together you cannot meditate. Meditation is only yours. You can sit together, but when you are practicing, it is all yours. So obviously spiritual life is very, very individual life. How the organization can help the spiritual life? That was the question. And Swami Vivekananda had to explain again and again to all his brothers, the other monastic brothers were also there, direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, and they were not having any idea of organization. Now, if you just want to do something, immediately even the young people can organize a program. But in those days, when people were criticizing Swami Vivekananda, and they were, some people from India, they were writing that Vivekananda is not the representative of the Hindus. And they were quoting that he is not a Brahmin. How could he take the sannyasa? The first thing. Second, the Hindus are not supposed to cross the ocean. And he crossed the ocean. He lost the caste. So how it is possible that Vivekananda is representing Hinduism? So all these letters used to come, and there is jealousy. That is the very peculiar. The jealousy is the bane of our national life, Swamiji said. And Swamiji was going on speaking. He was all the time giving the idea about the India, India, India. But Indians, some of them, a few of them, they were jealous and they were writing these letters. It was necessary, at a point of time, it was necessary that some respected people of the society should give a certificate. Yes, he is our representative. Swami Vivekananda wrote to his brothers, can you please organize a meeting and then you must take a resolution, and that resolution should be signed by those people and send it to me. They could not understand how it is to organize. Swamiji, sitting over here in America, he had to give every details. You must go to this person, you must go to this person and then invite them. You must take a hall, not somewhere here and there. You must take a hall and there you should organize in this way. And in that meeting, someone should be president, someone should be presiding, and the speakers and all this, every details he gave. Imagine how Swamiji was working. He was working with now one or two his monastic brothers, like Vedanta ji and Swami Akhandananda ji. They were all young people that time. They started visiting the different people and in the society at Calcutta. They are very snobbish type of people. They said, oh, who? Vivekananda? Oh, we are not interested. Many they refused and refused and refused. Even so much so that you can imagine that when one person agreed to come, but he said, I am a Brahmin. And to sign a certificate of a non-Brahmin that he is representing my religion, it is not possible for me. Friends, from this point you have to think how Vivekananda transformed the whole Hinduism and India. So that was the point. They told, no, I am a Brahmin. I cannot sign that. You need not to touch, only to sign. That also he was told, no, I cannot sign that. That was the condition of the so narrow-minded people. And in the name of religion, they were all really blind people. They forgot that God is nothing but love. So much of ego because of the money, because of the social status. So Swami Vivekananda said, never mind, request this person, request that other person, and get the signature of some people, at least 4 or 5, send that letter to me. And that is the way he started understanding the organization is necessary. And he started in that way, but it depends on how this organization can come. And in the Hindu tradition, there was no organization. Particularly in the social, if you have an organization, immediately, in those days, you have to remember once again that India was ruled by foreigners from 11th century. From the outside, the people came and they started ruling in their own terms from the 11th century. Though there were kings were there, small kingdoms all over India. There was not a supreme king any time. Except the Britishers, India was always separated with different kingdoms, but they were united because of the religion, because of the culture, the same language, the culture and the religious traditions they used to follow. They were united by that way, politically divided, but otherwise it was okay. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's father, from a remote village, he traveled to the extreme point of the south. And he went to the temple, Rameshwaram. There was no problem. So how they were going? Anywhere they could stay. If a person is going and standing before householders and say, I am just traveling like this, and I am Atithi, and I like to stay with you, they'll be so happy. Atithi Devo Bhava, that was the tradition. Anyone coming unannounced, it's Atithi. After having all these correspondences and then fixing the date and time, and then you are not Atithi. Atithi, without announcement, if a person goes, then you have to arrange everything for him. And you should be ready for that. They used to have a separate room and keeping everything ready, even the food grains and the utensils. So the Atithi, any time anyone is coming, he is a god suddenly visiting our house. They used to be very alert about that. That's why Swami Vivekananda said, never ever, before the Britishers, people died without food. In India, no one died without food before the Britishers. Britishers started creating all those problems so that they can control. But anyway, that is not our point of discussion. In Hinduism, there was no organization. There was a tradition, Guru Parampara. A person will go to his Guru, he will stay with his Guru, learn from the Guru, and then he will start his own. Shankaracharya, even some people they say 44 years before the Lord Jesus, he went at a very young age, almost 9 and 10 years, he went to his Guru, Govindapada, stayed with him, and then he learned, and when he was 16 years, he went to the Himalaya, started writing the commentaries on all the books, his own. Then he started visiting all India and to reestablish the Hinduism. He was going on arguing, that was his own. He had some followers there. Shankaracharya tried to give a little shape. In those days, very difficult. You cannot control the monks. The monks are completely different and free people. It's so difficult to control them. There is no salary, there is no rules. How can you control them? They simply come, hello, how are you? That's much. The monks are completely free type of people. They are not afraid of anything except God. So they will practice their spirituality and they are free. And to make them discipline and to follow the rules is really a task. So that Shankaracharya tried, but very loosely. So he started 4 mathas in 4 different places, and he said, from here you give some ideas. So the people still today, they go and take the sannyasa and they follow that, but they're free. Not that they have to stay over there. Even the Shankaracharya is giving some dictum, oh, you should follow these and that. Hindus are not bothered to follow that. It is up to you. We are free. Hinduism is completely free that way. Shankaracharya tried, but then came the Lord Buddha. The Buddha, suddenly there was an influx of monastic vows and monastic life. People started accepting monastic life and following Buddha. Why? Because they spread it, this world is full of misery. And if you are staying in the world, you are going to suffer. But who is actually going to suffer? How they are going to suffer? People couldn't understand, as I think in that way. So just because of that, people started following Lord Buddha, not much understanding about the monastic vows, but Buddha was followed by 60,000 people, you can understand. So all the Sravanas, they are all following the Buddha. 60,000 people from one place to another when they are going, where they will stay? So all the Sreshtis means the big business people, the business community, they used to have open their houses, and particularly the woods, they used to go and stay. The garden house, you can say, they used to stay over there. 60,000 people. They used to feed them. Maybe 1 month they will be there. What they are doing? Practicing some of the things, meditation and this, that they used to do. But then again, they will be shifting from there to another place. They will be all on the way they will go. Buddha had to make some rules. Why? Because there were complaints, and Buddha himself saw that one day when he reached after a long walk, he was tired. He went to his particular cottage, and next morning, when the Lord Buddha came out, he found the elderly monks are sleeping under the tree, but the young monks are sleeping inside the cottages. And he said, "Why you are here? The young people, they can walk faster. They came over here. They actually went inside the rooms, and we couldn't enter. When we reached over here, it was late. There was no food. There was no one. So somehow it is okay." Buddha told, "No, it should not be like that." So from there he started giving how the monastery should be. He started thinking and giving the rules. So we can say the rules came in that way. The Buddha, he did in that. But when Swami Vivekananda started an organization, it was a combination of both ancient and modern. Because it was only 1897. But friends, we have to remember the Britishers were very, is to keep constant vigil that the Indians are not having any united effort. Because they had all experienced some of the rebellions in the 1857, I think, the Sipahi mutiny and all that. So they had the experiences. So 1897, when Swami Vivekananda organized that, he had to register it. Buddha never registered his organization, it was not necessary. And for the Buddhas, the three promises they started. One is Buddham Sharanam. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, they will be chanting every day. Accepting the Lord Buddha as your ideal. That is the first step. You may accept other gods and goddesses, that is up to you, but then you cannot be the member of the Buddhist organization. That's true. So naturally, the Buddhism, they said, you have to accept the Buddha. The Buddham Sharanam, that is the first thing. Secondly, Shangham Sharanam. All the rules and regulations that the organization will ask you to follow, you must have to follow that. And that is also true. You cannot follow that. Some of our young monks, they like to go and stay in other monasteries, and they say that we like that ideology, but we are a monk of the Ramakrishna order. They said, no, it cannot be. You are welcome to go and accept their ideologies and live like that. And at the same time, you cannot say that you are a monk of the Ramakrishna order. When you are here, you have to accept these rules and regulations. That is natural. That is the first. Buddha is giving the practical way of the organization. Then Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami. First is Buddham Sharanam, Shangham Sharanam, Dharmam Sharanam. Some of the people, they think that Buddhism means these three. Buddhism has the other philosophy, but those who are accepting the life of that, for them it is a must. You have to accept Buddha as your ideal. You have to follow all the rules and regulations that the Lord Buddha has given if you like to be in that organization. Third, you must practice dharma, the religion. Otherwise, you are practicing something else and living in the organization. That cannot be. So sometimes some doctors, they come and they like to start a practice. The Belur Math is always having this trouble. So you have to forget that you are a doctor. Maybe that we will ask you to go and cut the vegetables. That is your duty. No, I am a medical practitioner. Go back, join some hospital. Here you have to forget that. The one young boy came and joined, and I could notice that is long back. We were also brahmacharis in Advaita Ashram. It was 1976, 77, 78, that period. And whenever there will be some music somewhere, some rhythmic music, he will be dancing. Just standing over there will be dancing, and very nicely he could express that dance. Then one day I called him, though I was not very senior, but I called him and said, brother, have you learned dancing? Otherwise people can't dance in that way. Dancing you have to learn properly. Just jumping and throwing your hands is not the dance. So you have to learn that properly. He said, I am a student of the Kelucharan Mahapatra. It's a very famous name in India. Kelucharan Mahapatra is a very good, wonderful dancer. And to become a disciple, become a student of that school of Kelucharan is a luck for those people. I told, oh my God, the 5 years course, he has completed 3, and then he decided to become a monk. I told, go back, complete the course, and become a dancer, and dedicate your life in that. You can never become a monk. For songs, etc., writing poems or drawing pictures, this is allowed in the monastic life. But dancing, it will be difficult for you. So it is better go back. So we have to understand in that way that this is not my path. So dharmam, you have to follow the dharma. Why I have come in the monastic life? To realize God. Not to practice the medicine or these or that. Nothing like that. It's completely different. One boy, he rang me from India. I'm going to complete this particular engineering and this course. And I am a highly educated person. If I join in the Belur Math, will they send me to America? I told you are always welcome to come to America. For that, you need not to go to Belur Math. There are some examinations are there. Sit for the exam. Universities are accepting the bright students. You will get an opportunity. You will come. But to become a monk, you have to burn your boat at the back. That's why the monks are not supposed to mention about their educational qualification, about their family. So sometimes the modern monks, they forget that. They don't understand. It's not to be. You have to burn all your backgrounds. Why? Dharmam sharanam gacchami. I am here only to practice religion. So we take the oaths of the Lord Buddha. Swami Vivekananda also asked us to do that. Now here, Swami Vivekananda established not one, but 2 organizations at the same time. One is Ramakrishna Math, another is Ramakrishna Mission. The mission was registered legally afterwards, but he established it 1st May 1897 in the meeting, and they took the resolution. So we take that day as the day of establishment of the Ramakrishna Mission. What is the difference between Math and the mission? The one of my disciple, she was telling, when another lady came to know about the spiritual life, then I told her, if you want to work for spiritual life, then you go to Swami Ishatmananda. And no, only work. This is the dharma that we are doing. It is not the only work. Work is only the method, but we practice religion. So that is the reason, after having that conversation, I thought that we should try to give an idea about the organization. We, the monks that you see over here, it is Vedanta society, not Ramakrishna Mission even. Sometimes our elderly people from India, they will come and say, are you not belonging to Ramakrishna Mission? Very much. We are Ramakrishna Mission monks, but here the organizations are named as Vedanta societies. And some of the places nowadays, Vivekananda Vedanta Society or Ramakrishna Vivekananda Vedanta Society, like that. Because when Swami Vivekananda came over here, he never wanted to give the personal name because people will misunderstand. Because they were not knowing about India and there's no idea about India, Indian culture. And after these 100 years, it is people that know. These Vedanta societies are the part and parcel of the Ramakrishna Mission, but in legal way it is not. Why? Because the Ramakrishna Mission, as an institution in India, they cannot purchase land over here. That is the legal things. But the devotees, when they are purchasing and then asking the Swamis to come, they can always do that. So this is the way they do. But this particular Chicago center, the second Swami who came, Swami Ishatmananda, he collected some fund and purchased in the name of Vivekananda Vedanta. Previously it was Vedanta Society Chicago. Then he gave the name Vivekananda Vedanta Society. Why Chicago and Vivekananda? Those are almost the synonyms in our country. If you go to India and ask which country you know in foreign land, America, almost everyone knows. And in America, which city you know, Chicago, or even the children will know. Why Vivekananda? So if you say that I am coming from Chicago, you have a separate respect. And if you say that I am coming from the San Francisco, they won't understand. If you say Hollywood, okay, they will understand. The Hollywood, not that respect though. But the moment you say, I am from Chicago, it's a special respect. Why? Vivekananda. I will come to that point. This Vivekananda came over here. He gave the complete new shape, form of Hinduism. And not alone, but on the basis of the realization, so that Genesis, the seed of this organization, coming from Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. This Sri Ramakrishna, he practiced both through the path of duality and through the path of non-duality. Advaita Vedanta, Dvaita Vedanta were both the paths. And he said both are same. And his unique way of explanations, he said, when a God, you are crying for him because the cool devotion, the God takes a human form for you. Because you are praying to see God in this form, God takes that. And those who are practicing knowledge, the path of knowledge, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am the Atman, as if it is like the power of the sun. So it melts and it becomes without form. He gives an example. With the cooling breeze, the water, which is formless, takes the form of snow or the ices. Form is there. But when the sun rises, because of the scorching sunlight, the same ice melts and becomes water again. The unique way he saw that, so simple. Hundreds and thousands of years that we debated on that, whether God has form or without form. So that is the problem. And when the Britishers came and they wanted to weaken our philosophy, they were very clever. They didn't destroy our temples, but they weakened our thought, belief, faith. How? Through education, of course. And they started telling how the all-pervading God can take the form. God is all-pervading. How he can take the form? The form is small, and that too, the stone, the mud, and the wood you are using to make the form. How God can be there? He is pure, all-pervading. People couldn't answer that. Look at it. After reading the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, it becomes so easy for us. Even the young people also can give the answer nowadays. But in those days, scholars couldn't answer. And they closed their doors and windows. No, this is our faith, this is our belief, we have to follow, otherwise don't come to us. And a group of educated people, they never wanted to convert themselves into Christianity. At the same time, they were doubtful about the Hinduism. So they started new paths. And that is the time you will find all different types of organization came. Brahma Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Arya Samaj, all Samaj came. Samaj means that one organization. And all of them, they accepted Hinduism without images. But Hinduism without images is incomplete. Images is a part and parcel of the Hinduism. Duality is a part and parcel of Hinduism. We begin with that and we end in oneness, in Vedanta. So that is the way we have to understand. In Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he gave that idea. Second, other religions are also leading to the same goal, and they are all valid paths. It needs really courage to say that. Really, if you feel that they are also same like us, even your friends and brothers, your relatives will say, "Oh, is it? You go out, you don't understand anything." So people understand the narrowness. They can see the movement of the water in a narrow lane, the water thing that is passing, the river or the rivulets like that. But they don't understand whether the water is going to north or south or moving in the ocean. From the ocean, it seems that it is always the same. Hinduism like that so much. So different things came. 6 different philosophy they accepted. And except 2, 4 of them is not believing in God itself. They said, no, we don't believe in God, but they are all Hindus. Because they have faith in the Veda. And they explain the Veda in a different way. So no problem. So that's what Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said. All are valid paths. So don't say that they are not. If you don't like to accept them, don't accept. Follow your own path. But don't criticize them. Nowadays, in the modern times, these thoughts are coming and reaching out to many people. Friends, you all know. The last May in 2022, 11th May, I went to the Riyadh, the capital of the Saudi Arabia. Can you imagine? The capital of Saudi Arabia, the heartland of the Islam, after 1,500 years, they organized all religious meet. And there they invited Hindus and the Jewish and the Buddhist and all faiths. Is not that the influence of this great avatar? Silently, even without our presence, idea is coming, idea is so strong. So this is the way Sri Ramakrishna taught, and stress on practice, not much on theory, but on practice. So he stressed on the practice. And he said, if you can see God by closing your eyes, can't you see God with open eyes? Ishavashamidam sarvam. The Hindus, they boastfully and proudly they say, they quote, all the Brahmins, they have memorized at least this sloka of the Ishopanishad, about which Gandhiji said, if all other scriptures are burnt, only this sloka survive, Hinduism will survive. Ishavashamidam sarvam. All that you see is nothing but manifestation of the same God. And then same Hindu will say, don't touch me. I am not going to eat from you. I am not going to do this. This is hypocrisy. This is misunderstanding. This is ignorance. You cannot do that. Why they are doing? Oh, you cannot follow them. You have a speciality. Now suppose a student in the university looking at his younger brother who is attending class 4th grade in the school, he tell his mother, no, I won't go to school, and if I go, I need that type of backpack and water bottle hanging over here. Class 4th grade, they are going like that. You need not to go like that. You are educated. You have to understand this, that there are levels are there. The Hinduism, the moment they say, don't come to me, because your touch will make me impure, he is not a Hindu at all. That is Sri Ramakrishna in those days. And very orthodox people. After Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda came over here, and then he wanted a certificate only, and I quoted that a great person, and he was the judge, and he said, no, I cannot sign because I am Brahmin. I cannot certify non-Brahmin. Can you imagine? And in those days, Ramakrishna used to visit all those places and people who were not Brahmin at all, going and touching them, blessing them. And not only that, he used to sit with them to eat. And that is a revolution. But silently, quietly, with great love he did. And he was so simple, people could never criticize him. He was just like a child, used to do that, but transforming. Then one day, purity never differentiate the caste, creed, color, sex, no. And the purity means purity. And if you are taking the name of God, you are pure. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he said, if a Brahmin is not taking the name of God, I won't touch his food. I'll consider him as a fallen and the low caste. But a low caste person, if he is taking the name of God regularly, he is more than a pure than Brahmin. So it depends on the mind, not on the birth, not on the activity, not on the dress, not on the language. This is the great, the sky was open, but it was difficult. That's why only educated people they recruited first. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna himself, all the university students he recruited because they will understand it. Elderly people, they have already set their mind, they won't open up their mind. Other people, not educated, they go in one direction. They don't like to accept that and they cannot think. Only educated people who have the open mind, because of the knowledge, they can judge it is true. And that is why Swami Vivekananda started Vedanta movement here in America. Because of this. Now Vivekananda, when he was doing this, he was a young man of 22, we can say maximum. When Swami Sri Ramakrishna gave the responsibility on the shoulder of this young boy and he said, I give all this responsibility on you and you have to carry this. And Swami Vivekananda traveled the length and breadth of India to understand the society. The society, and he was a voracious reader. He read the sociology, history, geography, and of course the philosophy. So he was going on thinking, what happened to these people? Why they are behaving like this? The poorer people, somehow they were surviving. There was no respect for them. They were not bonded laborers. But they were so poor and so uneducated, and they were not having any voice to say to anywhere. So that is the reason they used to live just like the animal life, somehow to get some food and somehow to survive, that's all. No respect at all as a human being. Even the lifestyle was also not like the human being. So Vivekananda, after visiting them, and he said, lo, the descendants of the rishis are now the next door neighbor to brutes. Descendant of the rishis, he reminded us, the culture that we are having is coming down from the thinkers, the rishis. That is so respectful. All this, that at the time of our Yangopupit or marriage, they will be saying that that is our rishi, is coming down. Someone in that family went to that school, and that tradition is coming down. It's called Gotra nowadays. So this is the way he said, and then he said, we have to have an organization which will have a motto. What is that motto? Organization means must be having a motto. Motto is Atmana Mokshartham and Jagat Hitaya Cha. The two. Not only Atmana Moksha, not only the liberation of one's own self, but at the same time, simultaneously, it should be helping others also to stand up. Atmana Mokshartham Jagat Hitaya. Jagat Hita. Now the sannyasins, for the betterment of the others, of the Jagata, what they can do? Maximum they can pray, that's all. And mostly they used to arrange yajnas, and that is also another problem. But if you are having the yajna means you have to organize so many things, a lot of expenses. And that person is not going to spend, then you have to pay. And he will go on offering the oblations in the fire, uttering some mantra, praying for you. But afterwards, whether you get the blessings of God or not, but you spend some money. So Swamiji said, not like that. There's a practical help you have to give. How? Giving back the self-confidence. Look at it, how it is coming. Giving them back their self-confidence. You know, when the Calcutta plague came, if you have read that, the horrible Calcutta plague, hundreds and thousands of mice and the rats everywhere because of the dirty. Where the Europeans used to stay, that place was clean. But the local people, hundreds, they were leaving the Calcutta. And some of the people, they came out with the solution that if we go on taking the name of God, majority over there are Vaishnava. So they came out and started playing the khol and Hare Krishna. Why? These rats, then they won't be able to do any harm to us. Because we are giving them the God's name. That was the conception. Swamiji said, what you are doing? And at that time, he even decided to sell out the property of Belur Math to purchase medicine. And Mother said, hey, don't do that, because only attending one, we cannot stop. So do another way. Swamiji sent out an appeal to the people. So please give some donation, please give some money. With that, I will send out the volunteers to serve you. Sister Nivedita and Sadananda Swami, his direct disciple of Vivekananda, these two, risking their life, this to go and sweep all these roads, and they will be carrying all those treasures and burn in distances and burying all those. And slowly they cleaned up one after another areas of Calcutta. Swami Vivekananda's disciples. And that is so practical way. Then they were going on teaching them how to wash your hands and how to wash your feet before you go to bed. And all these things, these also included in the spiritual practice. Is it not something very new? Spiritual practice means you are going to count the beads only, but those hands are cleaning all the dirts. Swami Vivekananda asked, monks over there in the northern part of India, they live isolated, but when they are sick, they simply die. There is no one to serve them. A little medicine, a little good food can help them. Whoever will go over there and serve these monks will get direct liberation. My blessings. Two of them immediately volunteered. One from you know him, that Marathas, he was a soldier from the Maharashtra. He loved Swami Vivekananda. He said, I am first, I am going over there. Mukti is the only thing that I want. And if I can, by serving people, get the mukti, why not? Through meditation, it will take time. By serving the people, it will give direct mukti. I am going there. And another Swami, two of them, they went. They took the medicine, they started serving them and bringing all the ailing Swamis. And after the treatment, when those monks became all right, you know how they blessed them? They told them, you are Bhangi sadhus. Bhangi means low grade sweeper monks. You are sweeper monks. You don't have any respect. The monks are supposed to sit under a tree or inside the cave or by the side of the river and taking the name of God. And when they are hungry, they will go to somebody's house, take food, and that is the monk's life. But you are cleaning the filth and giving us the food, cooking us, and this, doing that. This is not the monks were. They were labeled as Bhangi monks, Bhangi sadhus. But they never mind, okay, no problem. In the association of the monks, they were never allowed to go even. And they had to secretly go and take bath in the Ganga, because when other monks says, oh, you are, that was the mental attitude of those people. But Swamiji said, no problem, go and give them more light. He was telling those who think that they are enlightened, give them more light, because they don't understand what is true. Friends, why I am giving this? All books are there. If you read, this organization is a unique organization. This Ramakrishna Mission, this Vedanta Society is a unique organization. Then Swamiji said, go to the hamlets, go to the villages, go to the remote places and give them education. And what type of education? Oh, God is there, this is Ramchandra and Hanumanji. Not like that. Show them this is India. And you have to, in those days, the magical lantern. So it's not like the projector, but there were films were there, and from the back you have to give the light and it will be projected over the magical lantern. Take the magical lanterns and show the villagers that they are living in India, and this is the size of India. And these are the states, and this is the capital of India. And this is called rupee, the coin that they are using. So only basic thing. But go and give them this education. So many different type of societies are there. Give them that knowledge. So some of the Swamis, they started doing that. One of the Swami who was in Assam. Assam was very backward. He used to go to village. Much afterwards, when I was there, people used to remember, the elderly people used to remember. Oh, the one Swami used to come and he used to teach us the history, the geography, the sociology, and how we should clean our teeth, and how after the bathing we should change the clothes. Same old clothes. After bathing means they will go dip in the river, come and put on the same old clothes. But you should change that. And before eating is a must. And even cutting the nails is a must. He used to teach them education, but that is religious education. And why they used to do that? Giving back their confidence. Swamiji's Vedanta, giving back confidence. Give them education about the women, he said, and take your hands off. There was a great movement, the widow marriage movement, and it was led by a great personality. And some people, they came to take the interview of Swamiji, and they said, sir, now you are a celebrity, you are very famous. Why don't you join that movement? He said, am I a widow that you are asking this question to me? Why don't you go to that lady and ask, sister, do you want to marry? His father, a male, without consulting that lady, thought that after the marriage she will be all right. But it was not. Again, she has become widowed and she do not know where to go and what to do. You again thinking that another marriage will help her? Why don't you go and ask her? Then Swamiji said, if you ask me, I would suggest give them education and take your hands off. They will take their own decision. The today's educated ladies, girls, should be grateful to Vivekananda because of this view. And he said very forcefully, and he implemented that through Ramakrishna Mission. And he asked the ladies of the followers of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, you must make a group, go to houses and give this type of education. Give them the self-confidence. Why to depend on others? Sister Nivedita started the school, that is now a very famous school in Calcutta. So, Atmana Mokshartham Jagat Hitaya, liberation of one's own self and for the betterment of others. And how to do the betterment? Through philosophy. What is that philosophy? Each soul is potentially divine. It's not a new word. It is there in the Upanishad. And Swami Vivekananda only gave the very simple translation of that. Each soul is potentially divine, potentially. And you have to manifest it. Then he said, my philosophy to make people about their divinity that is already there and to help them to manifest it. And how you can do that? What is the procedure? Then Vivekananda said, first is the motto, then the philosophy, then the action plans. How we'll do that? He said, service to man is service to God. And different type of services. But he gave the stress on education. He said, education, education, education. Education is the panacea of all evils. An educated person can help himself. How many times he will give food? How many times he will give the clothings? How many times he will give medicine? Every time you give, again the next day the demand is there. But give the education. Then he himself will support himself by earning. So don't make them beggars. But we always think, oh, some people are coming and folding hands before us. We felt very comfortable. Good, good. Oh, you are a poor man? Okay, take this money. And Swamiji said, giver should kneel down. And we always give thinking that, oh, they are poor, they don't have anyone except me, so I give. No, giver should kneel down. And that is the complete transformation of different actions that we know, but it is spiritualization of the actions. The moment you are humble at the time of giving, you are spiritualized. So that is the teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and that was translated by Swami Vivekananda. And you know, the story is one after another. It was so difficult. Because the traditional monks, early morning you have to get up and go to the temple and meditate. If you fail to do that, there's no food for you. Then, so one day, a direct disciple of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Latu Maharaj, he was going out with all his clothing and some books. He was going out. But Latu, where you are going? Oh, this, you will give the bill and then immediately I have to meditate. It is not possible for me. Whenever I feel, I will meditate. Then Swamiji went and embraced him and said, oh no, it is not for you. It is for the young boys who are now coming. If you don't have these laws, they will never get up from the bed. They will sleep. That is not the monastic life. They have to practice that. It is not for you. Then Latu Maharaj said, it is not for me, then it's okay. But Raja Maharaj, that Swami Brahmananda ji, he was the president of the Ramakrishna mission. President. But he failed to come and join their one practice. Then he came with a begging bowl in hand and he told Swami Vivekananda, today I have to go out. He is thinking that Swamiji will say, no, Raja, you need not to go. As he said to Latu. Then yes, you should go. You should. You have failed. You're being a president. You are supposed to give the precedences. No? People will see the Raja Maharaj is always there. And you failed. So you go and bring some food. But when you bring, share with me. I am waiting for you. So these are the wonderful brotherly affections, but very strictness about the monastic life. Ramakrishna Mission monks, and of course there is another group for the women, a separate group is there. They are called Ramakrishna Sarada Mission. On the other bank of the Dakshinesha, the Ganga, near the Dakshinesha, they have their headquarters, and they have some other ashramas. Very highly educated ladies are there. They are practicing the same, because in the movement that is going on, Swami Vivekananda said, as in the Satya Yuga, there were Vedavadinis. The spiritually enlightened ladies were there, Vedavadinis. And similarly, this time also, with the birth of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Satya Yuga has again started coming. The Brahmavadinis should be there, and they should go out and encourage the ladies, the girls, and they do so wonderful work. Wonderful work. They are developing one exhibition, a sort of small place where Nivedita used to stay in Calcutta, that house only. And they invited me to visit, and they thought, I'm from America, Swamiji is coming, we'll give some dollar. I'm sorry, I'm not having. So I couldn't give anything. But I always feel if I get some extra money, I will give some to them. I still feel that. But I felt sorry for that. But what to do? But I appreciated how these young ladies, they collected fund, and they have done so much and so modern way. When you are visiting India, if you go to Calcutta, please visit that. In Bagbajar, opposite to Mother's house, they have their Sarada Mission. The Sarada Mission school, very famous, that school. I mean many places. Particularly the place where many of you may remember the China aggression came, I think in 1962 or something like that. And those places were very remote places. That from those places the Chinese soldier, they entered into India. In that village they have started a huge school only to educate the local people, particularly girls. They are giving them education. Wonderful what they are doing. Another group is there in the name of Swami Vivekananda. They are also giving education in the remote places. Hundreds and thousands of small organizations of the householders, they give money, donate money, and make the temple. And there they keep the rooms for the monks and nuns to go and stay, only to give some scriptural discourses. And they are working day and night for the development of the local people. Parallel to the modern, our free India governments, these people are also working. Why? That motto, Atmana Moksha Jagat Hita. It is more easy to get the liberation by serving others than by practicing only meditation. As Swamiji said, go and die for them and you will get the liberation. But when you are going and serving, not as human being, but you have to see them as the divine personalities, the divine gods and goddesses. At present, all over the world, we have 300 centers directly controlled by the Ramakrishna Mission and 2,000 monks. So friends, only two things I would like to mention and I conclude. When I went to Abu Dhabi, I met one sheikh, the second man of that state, and the appointment was made. Somebody wanted me to go there. So I went only to see how the sheikhs they live and all that. So they're very rich people as they live. So when I was trying to give the introduction, when they came before me, they said, I belong to Ramakrishna Mission. Immediately he said, Swami, you need not to say anything. I know about the Ramakrishna Mission. You are the only organization, male organization, with 2,000 educated male together, living for more than 100 years. This is a mystery. It's true. The moment there will be educated, the two brothers can't stay together. They'll say, they will grow up together, finish their education. When they get the job, they will separate. Because it is very difficult for the male ego to live together. So that is the reason mostly they separate. In other organizations, one or two educated swamis are there, monastics are there, and mostly others follow them. Ramakrishna Mission, anyone, if you go and ask about any problem, he has his own opinion. And there are the swamis, the brahmacharis, they are joining, highly educated, completing the PhDs over here in America. At least 4 or 5 they have joined Belur Math recently. So that is the way the organization is making the progress. We have an university and also we have the schools for the kids. Thousands all over the world. But if you go to our headquarters, Very simple. The Swami small desk and small office. From there, they're working all over the world. So this is a really difficult to practice religion along with the work. This time, when I gave a talk in the Belur Math, I said this: we do not know what is our tapasya. Because when you find a Swami having the beard and eating only once in a day and living in a small hut and walking barefoot, we feel, oh, they are doing the tapasya. But when you look at the Ramakrishna Vaishnava Swamis, they don't look at me, they're well dressed and all that. So then we feel, oh, they are not doing tapasya. Exactly opposite. Our tapasya is more intense and more subtle. You know what? We are mostly administrators. And administration is assertion. Administrator always say, do this, what I say. Assertion. But at the same time, we are monks. Our practice is negation. Not me, oh God, it is you. Constantly we pray. Constantly. When I was in charge of a huge educational institution, every moment I used to pray to God. You kept me over here, and I am now doing it. So all decision should be yours, not mine. The 24 hours when you are praying, are you not becoming pure? That is the tapasya. That Ramakrishna Mission Swamis, they do. Belur Math, the Swami, if you go and meet him in the kitchen, in church, is hardly the young Swami, and you won't be able, just by seeing you won't understand. Every day he is spending 4 lakhs rupees, every day, to purchase the food grains and these and that, because 10,000 people eating. He is organizing that. Under him, 67 cooks are there. So you can imagine. So, but he is a tiny little fellow moving and very humble. If you call, he will come like this. He is a much better administrator than any big hotels. How much they are spending per day? He is spending that, but humble. I have seen the Swami going on serving right from the joining. Now it is 45 years in the cow shed, because he was a doctor, the veterinary surgeon, responsibility over there. 45 years he is there, constantly serving. Are they not doing the tapasya? So this is the way we have to think. And here we spread this idea, the unique idea. We have purchased a church over here in the Chicago. You know why? Only to give this idea of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, that all religions are true. All paths are leading to the same goal. The people, they wonder why so many symbols are there in the same church. They see only the either this symbol or that symbol. All the symbols over there in the Home of Harmony, if you go, you can see that. And we are having a school, the 6 different religions, online we are giving the teaching. All those things we are doing, don't take it otherwise. You know, people are not ready to give donations for that. They think giving the food to the poor, well, they will live. That is a religious thing. But when you are giving the education and making the mind open of the people, is not that also the religious work? That too. And that is also the part of this mission. Thank you, friends. Thank you for bearing with me. I have taken at least 15 minutes extra. I don't think I should accept the... is the questions are there? Quickly.
Maharaj, first question is, Akash is asking how japa helps to Kundalini awakening.
This is okay. This is a very spiritual question. See, if you are sincerely practicing japa, so obviously your whole mind will go to those words that you are uttering. And when you are completely withdrawn from the external world and going on concentrating on those mantras, then automatically the power that is there in our body and mind that rises. That's called Kundalini Jagarana.
Second question is from Hari Krishna. He's asking how to practice everywhere is God.
Oh, that is a practice, that is a really, really difficult practice. If you go to a church or a temple or a mosque, you feel that it's a holy place. But if you go to the schools or the colleges and the shops and the market, you don't think this is a holy place. But you have to practice that each and every one, and they are nothing but gods. And the manifestation of that, it is not ego, it is self-confidence. The self-confidence is necessary. I saw yesterday when I was coming back from Pittsburgh, we stopped in the different type of shops are there, at the mall type of area. Young girls, hardly school girls maybe, and they are serving in that counter, very happy, earning their own money and helping themselves. That is called self-confidence. They are not depending on anyone. So that I was looking at them and I was thinking, look at it, how they're not thinking that I am doing a menial work, why should I? No, not like that. I am doing something, earning money, and then supporting myself. Then I am continuing my education, and a position will come when I will sit over there. That is called constantly everywhere thinking about the divine and divinity is called the practice. And you should try to do that you need not to express it. Oh, divine personality, please give me a cup of coffee. No, not like that. You need not to do that. Thinking within yourself will be sufficient. Thank you then. Let us say Shanti 3 times and we conclude. Om Shanti. 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 Hari Om. The Ramakrishna Mission monks and Sharada Mission nuns, they are only in the forefront. But the main organization who is supporting the organization is you people. Because of your support, because of your donation, and the whole organization is going on. That is why Swami Vivekananda took one representative from the householders, another from the monks. And this Ramakrishna Mission is a combination of householders and the monks. Directly we are serving with the support of yours, same benefit we are getting spiritually. Same benefit. Thank you, friends. Please go down and have some lunch. Come again.